so forth. Those are all things you have to correct in yourself and evolve towards being more Christ-like. And so you're ever evolving in religion towards that spiritual state of awareness.
Yeah, for me, I think that uh, dogmas, not all dogmas are actually, bad, that they need to be changed. Right? And I think every field we know today, every philosophy somehow have little dogmatic, nature to its, core, existence itself. And I think that the most important thing is that the dogmas that somehow affect humans negatively over time somehow change over time and evolve into maybe some complex structures that at least seems to be somehow adaptable than before. So for me, I don't think the problem is whether the thing resists to change or not. I think that the more problem is when you have dogmas that are like really bad viruses, which somehow people are refusing to get rid of. And I think, for example, the science, right? Science can change in a lot of things, but science is never going to change to be non-science, right? So it has some few axiomatic foundation to how it actually begins the whole, So when you take those foundations out of the equation, then you don't have the science anymore in the first place. I think religions share the same attributes one way or the other. They have a few, foundational axioms, and then everything else somehow gravitate towards it, or maybe changes or functions within those parameters. So, the last thing I want to say is that I don't believe that subjective, or maybe things that changes over time are somehow independent from the things that actually stays for a longest period of time. And this is what I mean. Like 1 plus 1 being 2 is going to be true today and tomorrow. And I believe yesterday was the same thing. And I think this is good knowledge that we don't want, we don't have a reason why it should change. But what I pray that at least we all move towards is when we identify certain dogmatic, elements in our beliefs that seems to not really provide good results. Those ones I think it's very important we make adjustments here and there. So yeah.
But the changes in science is based on evidence, right? They just keep doing the same experiment over and over to prove a point, right? That's how science works. But in religion, it seems like they're trying to be more acceptable to more people. So they're changing, such as accepting like gay people, like which is written in the Bible that they don't really accept that, right? But correct me if I'm wrong. And also alien, they didn't thought of the idea of alien, but now they even include that idea as well, so that more people can be, included, accepted into the religion. That's the reason behind the changes. But in science, it's different. It's about proving based on evidence. Is that correct?
I think that's if I think that the changes in science more deals with the facts that, or maybe the evidence, as you said, those hard truths or hard evidence that we have in our custody. But I think religion goes a little bit deeper than just evidence, or in terms of, hard evidence, like material evidence. So I think the changes in religion is based on many factors. For example, when science wants to change its understanding on maybe quantum physics, it doesn't need to consider anthropology, it doesn't need to consider human psychology, it doesn't need to consider even the well-being of humans. All it's interested in is providing 1 plus 2, 1 plus 1 equals 2 kind of, conclusions, right? Religion, I think, goes a little bit deeper. There are human experiences involved from different reality, different cultural backgrounds, and different psychological makeups, mental, and all these things are real and tangible in our world. So I
Okay,
think
tag,
that's where it
tag.
goes.
So,
Yeah.
so do you think that studying the quantum level of the universe, studying that the universe is billions of light years across, studying the spectrum of wavelengths that we have, is, you don't think that is deeper than just saying God is love and there's an energy that moves from a person to another person where they can probably communicate by just thinking? Do you think science is not a billion times deeper than religion? I think, personally, the scientific endeavor has hundreds of different disciplines that range from human behavior, from geology, from astronomy, and there's people rigorously studying the natural world, living entities, biology, different types of energy. You have the Hadron Collider that is studying conditions in the universe that were way beyond human existence. Do you think that taking psychedelics like Deacon does will get you to these truths? Or do you think, like I do, the world's first self-proclaimed scientismist priest, that science will always go much deeper than any other human practice? Hallelujah!
Okay, so
You're
the
forgetting that
fact with
science also studies
the
psychedelics.
utilities. Sorry, go on. So,
No, I just wanted to point out that there is science out there that studies psychedelics, and they dose volunteers, including atheist volunteers, and when they give an atheist volunteer a high dose of a psychedelic, even they are unable to identify with atheism after this event, and that is established science that you could look up for yourself. I would look at the research out of Johns Hopkins University, revolving psilocybin and mystical experience. They have uh, they have dosed atheists, and these atheists can no longer identify with atheism after this experience, and that's all in peer-reviewed established science that's available to anyone to research.
yeah, and
Yeah, that's one little tiny bit that science explores, and it gets you know a couple of people to think maybe there's something beyond, but the sample size is not enough. So let me share with you something, Deacon. I was diagnosed with psychosis. I had a psychotic episode. I'm schizoaffective